Great. I'll now like to invite the panelists on stage. Ms. Trang, Deputy CEO of Global Sales and Marketing. Ms. Lanan, Chief Financial Officer. Mr. An, Director of Haiphong Plant. Mr. Diego, Head of Vehicle Module Design Institute. Ms. Lin, Deputy CEO of Operations at GSM. And your moderator, Mr. Chien, CIO of VinFast.
Hello. Okay, exciting time now. So obviously we went through quite a lot of new contents today, and thank you everyone for coming to us with a lot of questions from the morning until now. And I've told some of you to wait into the Q&A session. And I have noted, some pre-submitted questions from the crowd, so we can start with those few first before we opened the table for live Q&A. So first of all, we have one question from one of the analysts asking about this year. VinFast has set the guidance of at least doubling the delivery in 2024. And so far, after the first 9 months of the year, VinFast have only delivered 110,000 vehicles. So how do VinFast intend to meet the guidance with only 3 months left? Given this is a question on sales, I would like to hand it to Ms. Yung Chang.
Good afternoon. First of all, warm welcome from my side. So I hope that you have enjoyed the tour for the past 3 days, right? Yeah, so about the question, I'm absolutely optimistic about the full year forecast of 200,000 globally for VinFast. So let me give you a snapshot of the year-to-date result for Vietnam first. Let's start first with Vietnam. During the year, we have been facing quite a lot of ups and downs. We faced some political and economic headwinds. So you might know about the biggest government administrative reform for the past decades. So back in July 1st, the government implemented the biggest administrative reform by reducing 63 provinces down to just 34 provinces. And, there was a number of 100,000 state employees. Speaking of the next 2 months, actually I complained a few minutes ago to Mr. Anh that I need more supply in order to cater the very high demand in yen. Yeah, so for now, the 3 Cat Scout models, 5, VF5, 6, and 7, have been in short supply. Yeah. So in November, we are heading to 30,000 units, roughly. And for the last month of the year, December, we are aiming to deliver 35,000 units. So how did I come to those 2 numbers? First of all, let's talk about our order bank. The current order bank has been 67,000 units. So like if we do nothing, then we will still have enough orders to deliver for the next 2 months. But then other than that, we have 2 new models to be delivered for the very first time in the market. That are the Minio and the minivan. You might have seen some Minio running on the road from Hanoi to the factory. I saw one. For the limo green, the long-awaited model in Vietnam right now, everyone is craving for limo green. We have not got enough supply, but we are about to deliver over 10,000 units of limo green every single month, November and December. Yeah, so let's just hope that we will have enough supply. Other than Vietnam, this year I'm very glad to announce that we have been able to set a very first important milestones in the overseas markets as well. In particular, you might have heard a lot about the phenomenal debut of our product in India back in September, right? The VF6 and VF7. Market perception toward our product and pricing has been tremendously positive, I have to say. And the result of the first 2 months of sales has been overwhelming. Yeah, so these are the key achievements and also the reason for my forecast. So super confident about 200,000 and actually I'm trying to do more than that.
Thank you, Ms. Yung Chang. The next question is from the gentleman on the fourth row who came to me during tea break. So obviously, given the guidance of roughly 200,000 cars per year, why so the design capacity across all factories of VinFast is about 550 to 600,000 vehicles. We would like to know the current utilization of the factory and what's the reason for VinFast to build so many factories in parallel. Given that this is manufacturing, Mr. Angle, please take the stage.
Okay, thank you for the question. Hope you all enjoy the tour to VinFast manufacturing complex today. It's one of our 4 footprint, I would say, but it's the first one. And we will expand our footprint in the future, not only in Vietnam, but also the other country in the region. And I hope one day you can see them all. Back to the questions. We have, thanks to Dung Chang, we have a very strong sales force, and then we have now faced the good problem, I would say, not only the manufacturing plant in Haiphong, but also the entire supply chain is putting the effort to fulfill the demand until the end of the year to fulfill the sales plans and make it not only keeping the number 1 position, but also maintain and widen the gap between VinFast and other competitors. Back to the capacity utilizations, we have now the capacity in Vietnam, 2 plants, one in Haiphong, is 300, that designed to be 250,000 cars per year. But then with our engineering team and manufacturing, we push it into the capacity of 300,000 units per year. And for Hà Tĩnh, is 200,000 units per year. And Hà Tĩnh just ran the start of production in June of 2025, just several months ago. And for Haiphong, every 7 to 80 seconds, 1 car is made. So that is the speed of our manufacturing line. And now we run at the top speed I think from Q3 to Q4. The utilization now very close to 100%.
Okay, thank you. Next one is the question that has been asked multiple times today. How much the sale this year of VinFast will come from GSM? Okay, our CFO, Ms. Lanai.
Thank you for the question. Actually, for GSM sales, for the first half of 2025, it's account to the 22% from the sales from related party and mainly from GSM. If we look back from 2024, at that moment, the significant part of sales from VinFast is to GSM, and a lot of question put to the leaders about whether in 2025 the continue about the percentage, very high percentage to GSM or not. However, as for the actual number that in the first half, that only the 22%, and we expect that in this year for the total is under the 25%. 20%. This is due to for the very good in terms of the momentum for the dealers network that we have developed, that Mr. Dương Chan just mentioned about for our sales within in Vietnam that we leverage for the dealer network, and then we attract a lot of like the end consumer, the external parties, and then we expect that end of this year the very like just lower than the 25% are going to be to the related party sales. Thank you.
Okay, so speaking at GSM, the next question is for Ms. Linh Nguyen. What are the most important factors contributing to the rapid success of the company in Vietnam, and to what extent do you expect to replicate that same success in Southeast Asian markets?
Okay, thanks a lot for the question. Actually, you can see on my presentation previously, there's few factors that make our success story for the last 2 years. The first one is that we are the only and the largest that use 100% of the EV cars and bikes for the fleet operator in Vietnam and across Southeast Asia. So that's the first thing that makes us different from others. The second thing that makes us go quick is that when we first launched back in 2023, we used the models of 100% full-time employees, and then we bought the EV cars by us. So that makes us go with the speed even quicker. And by 2024, we implement the platform system that actually transfer from our own asset into the end user, the driver, to who actually they already drive with us for the last year. They know how to earn their money. They actually believe on the quality of the EV VinFast car, and they start to buy by themselves. That's why we managed to actually transform our models into a 50-50%, so 50 of our own asset and 50 from our partners. So that's the second thing that makes us go, very quick. And the third thing that makes us grow sustainable is that we always maintain the quality of the services. As you can see that for example, Grab or any of the ride-hailing company in Vietnam or across Southeast Asia, one of the main issues that they have is that in terms of remaining the quality of service for the driver, because they are partner driver, they are not your full-time employee driver. So it's quite hard for them to maintain the service quality for customer. And also the second thing, apart from the quality of the driver, is the quality of the car itself. We are very strict on the quality of the car, and then the safety and the cleanness of the car. We imply a weekly check on the car by our specialists. So we always want to make our customer to have the best experience throughout their ride with the VinFast car, as well as the ride by our driver. So that's the three things that make us go quick and sustainable. And when we go global with the story of Laos, Indonesia, and Philippines, we applied the same models. That's why only after a year, for example, for Indonesia, we already opened in 3 different cities in Indonesia. So we are in Makassar, Jakarta, and Surabaya, and opening up will be Bali in other cities in Indonesia. And we already have more than 10,000 vehicles in Indonesia only after nearly a year. And for Philippines, we are expanding quite fast as well, only after 4 months in the country. So basically, the answer will be that what we success in Vietnam, the core value and the core model will be applied to whenever country we go. That's how we truly believe that we can grow quite fast and expand quite fast by 2026 and 2027.
Thank you, Ms. Linh Nguyen. Now we get to the last pre-submitted questions. This one is on vehicle architecture. What are the major changes to be introduced in the new set of vehicle platforms, and what are the level of component or system commonality is expected across different models going forward? Please, Mr. Diego Girardi.
Thank you. One thing that we need to understand is that if we look at the electrical architecture of a vehicle, is extremely complicated. Let's imagine a building where every flat has been built by a different company, designed by a different architect, have to provide its own water, electricity, and dispose of those water. It will be extremely inefficient. If you centralize this, you achieve a much better result. That's what we've done with the electrical architecture. We centralize many of the controllers into areas. This gives us a possibility to streamline the process, reduce the costs for wiring and modules, but also to control better the vehicle. We also own most of the software. Instead of having different companies writing software for us in these modules, we own this. That means we'll be much faster to make changes, to adapt to the market, and to adapt to the customer requirements. So this is incredible, and I think that if you look at the automotive landscape, very few companies were able to do this. And we were able to turn this around very quickly internally with our engineers. We already applied this in our first vehicle, the Lima Green, which has been produced 2 months ago, and you can see on the roads. We continue to apply this electric architecture in the near future on most of our new vehicles. So this definitely is an incredible advantage of new engineering. The percentage of shares for commonality depends from class of vehicles. Of course, you've seen in the future we're bringing something like Mini Green. We're also renewing our large vehicles. You can't share everything on those vehicles. So what we want to share is the solutions. In the car, when you design a car, you have many problems, or many issues, many questions, many ways to achieve things. And we want to do this by applying the same solution to the same problem. Currently, we're running around 58% commonality between our range, which I think is extremely good. But also on some platforms, like for instance, our new large platform, where we have VF8, VF9, and other modules coming, that level of commonality goes up to 70%. So I think that if we consider these two factors, if we consider that we have a strong engineering here in-house, we're very well positioned to achieve our goals of having a streamlined engineering, be fast to market, and respond to the customer request.
Yep. Thank you. So now we open the floor for a live Q&A. But before we do so, I need to remind that unlike prior year, we are having this investor tour before our Q3 earnings call. So therefore, we are at the moment under the blackout period with certain restriction on information we can disclose as per the US Security and Exchange Commissions. So when it comes to financials, right, our panel will only be able to discuss number after Q2 plus the delivery number for Q3. Hope you understand that. Okay, please raise your hands for questions now. Okay, we have 2 questions from the MUFG team.
Thank you very much for hosting a very interesting site visit and also very insightful section today. I learned a lot from all of you. And I know that VinFast is running a very ecosystem. You call that with a lot of green solution from the whole system of VinFast and also the eco company subsidiary. But just want to start by a very basic question, and if I'm not wrong, please teach me. But the EV is run by battery, right? So in terms of the input, do you have any plan to run the charging station by green energy as well, not the normal power as now? And the second point, I noticed that the battery of EV of VinFast just run, the minimum is 3 years, and the longest one is 10 years. And after 10 years, it will become rubbish, wet, a lot of negative impact to the environment. So do you have any plan to handle this issue as well? Or you transfer the responsibility to the owner or the user? Or at least, if we think about the circular economy or the package of solution, any solution for the user like us after the battery life run out. Thank you.
I can answer regarding battery life. So batteries will last for more than 10 years. So that's first thing. Secondly, we know that normally, a lifespan for a vehicle is around between 10 and 12 years. There are multiple ways to recycle batteries. There are a lot of companies that are looking into this in detail. For instance, we're using batteries discharged from the automotive industry into static battery solutions. Will give an opportunity to the consumers to reuse the batteries without having to deal with, dismantling the batteries and go back to the elements which are used into building those batteries. I think there will be a trend happening around the world.
So allow me to add a bit more angle here. So obviously within VinFast, we have one unit called VinFast BESS, which is now also part of VinEnergo. And they've been working on second life solutions for batteries, and one of which is to stack them together in a container-like shape for battery, storage, which we can use for area where, on-grid electricity is not always widely available. That's one way, and the other way is to recycle them, or dismantle them, or sell them for scrap. So there's quite a few options around that angle. About the source of energy, obviously there's nothing confirmed at the time being, but one of the purposes of Vin Group to enter green energy is to ensure that our electric vehicles are not only green on the sense of that it uses energy, but also it uses truly clean energy. But this is an initiative for the future, so there's nothing we can confirm at the time being.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Daisuke Suzuki. I'm the Deputy Head of Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group of Hanoi branch. Thank you for the tour and thank you for the presentation. It was really interesting and was highly helpful for our deeper understanding. I have two questions. One is regarding the battery charging station. I believe that that huge infrastructure you have is maintaining your ecosystem, which is something indispensable to actually sustain your ecosystem. Do you have any plans to open up that charging system, the stand of the charging system, to other competitors to join this battery charging system? Since, well, we do not have the precise figures, but everybody's talking about that it should be a heavy investment for just by VinFast or VinFast Group. So do you have any plans to open up and let some other competitors to join that ecosystem so that you can share this battery charging system? And the second question is about the green future. I believe it's a huge initiative for VinFast to create a secondary market in this country. But during the video, only the four-wheel vehicles appeared. Do you have any plans to create a secondary market for the two-wheelers? That is the two questions.
Okay, so your question on the opening up the charging infrastructure, that would be a question for V-Green, so I would be speaking on their behalf if I answer the question. We wouldn't have an answer or yes or no today, without them here. But what we know is that Tesla used to have a very same model, and in the initial year, was also exclusive to their users. So yeah, the second question that you have was on GF, whether there's a plan for the reuse for the pre-owned service to cover the two-wheeler or not. At the time being, my understanding from them is that there hasn't been any indication of such service yet. Again, I cannot answer on their behalf. We're just not aware of any plan.
Let me put another one for the green future in terms of two wheels. They don't have the second market yet for the two wheels. But at the moment, what Green Future is collaborate with GSM is that we do a rental model. We do have a rental model for the two wheels at the moment in Vietnam. So some of the city are actually operated by our partner as well. So we use the buy platform models in few of the city, and those buy are actually being rented by the partners through the GF Green Future rental model. Yes, we do.
Next question, please.
Hello, hi. My name is Hong from VCAP research team. So thanks for sharing a lot of the information today from VinFast, GSM, and VinGroup also. I have three questions. The first question is about the, can you share about the prelim targets about 2026 delivery sales volume for the EV and also the motorbike units? And the second question is about the cost side. So when I look at about the industrial segment of the VinGroup, we see that the quarterly results sometimes has a one-off expense causing the volatility on the profit margins of the industrial segment of the VinGroup, mainly the VinFast. So could you share to us about what is which type of cost is the most important to look at for the VinFast to reach the break-even? And among of these costs, which one the company can proactive or actively manage, and which one is less flexibility to manage this type of cost? The third question is about the fundraising. So I would like to ask about the capital rising plan from the VinFast and GSM in the next 2 years. So which type of the funding channel you are looking at, and roughly how much amount you are targeting in the next 2 years? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. For the guidance for 2026, VinFast is going to be released very soon. At this moment, we cannot disclose because we yet have the earning call, and due to the regulation with the US as a listed company in the Nasdaq, so we need to disclose wisely for our guidance. So we're going to update to you very soon. The next question about the cost for the profitability, as we shared during our earnings calls. For VinFast at this moment, we are in the position that we have the ongoing promotional activities to make sure that we can adopt EV acceleration to many new markets. For Vietnam this year, we keep the number one. However, we still need to spend for the promotional activities, and for the new markets like India, Indonesia, and Philippines, we in the position that we promote a lot for the branding, as well as the promote for our EV brand in the new market. So that's why we still in the position that yet break even yet. And I think for the coming time, we still very near term that we still in the have the cash burn for the investment of the new platform, and as well as the attract for the new consumer in the new market, and for our very activities to reduce our BOM cost. We have with the R&D team, like Diogo just mentioned, that we have the new platform next year for the VF6, VF7. With new platform, we expect that have the BOM optimization a lot, and then we still keep the momentum that's for VF 3, 5, and VF 8 and VF 9. With the significant increase in the volume, we expect for the supplier collaboration to reduce for the inputs, the BOM cost, leverage for the scale. And for the production, because we have the scale in terms of the volume, so that's why we can improve in terms of the production cost. So this is a very activities that you just mentioned about our activities for the reduction of the cost. For the maybe it's much depend also is for the sales volume, that when we enter to the new market, for sure that beside for our advantages that we have the ecosystem thanks to the cooperation with GSM, Big Green. However, for the new market, so that's why we still need to burn our money in the sales activities. So this is collaboration with the sales guy here, and we developed for the dealer network that we want to duplicate the success story in Vietnam to the new market. So this is also the challenge of our team that we already aware of, and we're going to do very aggressively in the coming time. In order to support that, yes, for the question number 3 that you mentioned, that's how about the fundraising for GSM? Ms. Ling gonna be provide more information, and from VinFast, we receive a lot of support from our founder, our chairman, that we already received a lot during past years. And for the revolvement of our bank loan, we still in the position that we receive the trust from our capital partners, from the bank's credit institution for revolve our bank's loan, and our investment team is very aggressively to do for the attract for the equity, and this is all the activities that we secure for the capital funding, and thanks to the trust from the financial partners that we achieve a lot of the successful story in Vietnam, and really heading to the success in the new markets.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it from the VinFast side. Maybe Ms. Ling can fill in on GSM.
Okay, from GSM, of course, since we own more than 100,000 vehicles, we need a lot of support from banks in terms of bank loans. But at the moment, we really have a lot of support from international and Vietnamese banking in Vietnam, and also in Indonesia and Philippines when we go there. But one thing is that for us, when we choose in terms of bank to be our partner, not only in terms of the loan package alone, we want to also upscale in terms of the whole package for for our customer and also for our drivers. So when we look at the package with the bank loan, we also look at the whole package in terms of the what they offer for our driver, what they offer in terms of the loan for the company, what they offer for the customer. So it's like one of the whole ecosystem. And when even though we are reducing on the percentage of the asset owned by GSM and then expand into our business of partnership in Vietnam, but when we go abroad, especially by 2026, we will enter 10 new more countries. We will always apply the full asset model from GSM. Then of course we need a lot of help from the bank in the future, especially international bank for international for foreign country when we expand. In terms of the details plan, we cannot release at the moment. We will have more detailed plan by Q1 2026. So I think that we can discuss more in details at that time. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to add some more in terms of manufacturing cost. I think it's one of the very important costs in the whole cost structure of the vehicles. We also, besides some information that our CFO already mentions, we put on our effort on the localizations a lot. Not only the BOM cost, like the materials. Let's say, for example, we use a local famous supplier, paint, sealant, kind of other chemicals product as well for the manufacturing. But also we work with our local line builders. We could build the, let's say, the Harting plant with the cost of, I would say, much more lower than the cost we build this Haiphong plant. And we, because we have developed the supplier, the local supplier of line builders together with us during the Haiphong manufacturing build up, and then they have the capability to work with us not only in Vietnam, but also they help us to build the facility in abroad as well. So that helped to reduce our fixed cost of manufacturing a lot. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So in order for everyone to get to Ho Chi Minh City tonight without having to skip dinner, we probably have enough time for one last question. Okay, Đức Anh, please.
Hello everyone. Yeah, this is Đức Anh from Mira Asset Fund. Just have one question per Anh Chien's request. Just want to you guys to clarify a bit more about the deal structure with Novatech in terms of what kind of R&D technology is transferred to Novatech, and then what would future arrangement be, and for future R&D technologies, will they belong to Novatech or will they be VinFast property? Thank you.
So about the Novatech transaction, that's we have the transfer the R&D assets that we already package of the VF from the VF3, VF5, VF6, and VF7. The R&D already developed in-house and transferred to the Novatech. And in return, we have the 1.6 billion US dollar transfer from our founder. However, for the core technology, still belong to VinFast for the new platform. For the assets that we already transferred to the Novatech, we pay the royalty fee to Novatech, and we still use the technology in our current platform, the Contact, the legacy platform. And then for sure that it is not impact to the IP right, that we still have the chance to use that's the rights to use the technology. So it is in long to short, it's not impact to our technology now. And we still have the in-house team that Diogo just mentioned that still develop a lot of the new platform. So it is not just impact to the technology that we already fully developed, and we just package it and transfer to the Novatech. Yeah.
Okay, that concludes our Q&A session. Thank you, the panelists, and thank you, all the guests, for the questions submitted.